Okay, now, whilst fitting a front wheel, you've got to be very careful that your fork alignment is right. So, in other words, once you put your axle in, as you can see, this axle actually can float on the bottom of the fork. Right, so what's important then is to make sure when you tighten the axle that the fork foot isn't sticking on the axle, or it's not initially tightened, so that when you tighten the axle nut, you don't pull the fork too much out of alignment. Now you can see as I tighten the nut here, the axle spins. So what this means is often we need to tighten up on one side in order to be able to tighten the axle nut to keep the axle from spinning. And what many people do is then once they've tightened the axle nut, they forget to loosen this again, and it's actually pulled the fork a little bit sideways. So once you've tightened the axle nut, you should always loosen off this side completely again. It's fine to tighten the other side now, because everything is tight, axle nut's tight, and you have to tighten anyway the bottom of the brake side. And the brake side is fixed, you know, it can't slide on the axle. It's only on this side it can slide. So now we're going to make sure that the axle is very free and can move. And what we do now is, while it's loose and while it's free, grab the front wheel with your knees is a good way. Twist the handlebars a bit, or just pull the suspension down so that the alignment is right. It settles in its correct position, almost in its natural position. You can check it now to see that it still moves nicely and it's aligned. And once that's done, then you can tighten up on this side. So what's happened now is that the other side has been tightened, and this side is allowed to settle exactly in a straight position. It's been locked, so you know that your fork's on alignment, and there's no pressure put on the fork bushes now. Because, I mean, many times I've seen people have tightened it, or if it's stuck, it's been really pulled in like that. And I mean, if you tighten it now, you know, with the axle is really, there's a lot of tension on this fork, and that has a huge influence on the fork performance, because, I mean, the bushes are out of alignment, and yeah, it just causes you major problems.
Yeah.